Hi all, my name is Akshin. Today we're going to discuss about centuries. When you're discussing about history, there's a common question which pops up in everybody's mind who are just beginners to history. What is centuries? How do I read centuries? If you're one of them, then this video is just for you. What is the meaning of centuries? Centuries is a period of 100 years, which basically means century is the simplified word. Instead of saying 100 years, you can just say a century. So practically century is the simplified word for 100 years. Now, next question. How to read centuries? Suppose someone is asking you, in which century was 1785? The first answer you would give would be 17th century. Even though the answer is the 18th century. Why 18th century? Because there is no zero century, zero year, or zero month. Now, when you are talking about the first century, you start off by 1 to the 99. The first year to the 99th year, right? So even though it starts with 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, and then you come to the second century, which is saying 101, 102, 103, and not 201, 203, and 204, and then it continues. Even so, that is in the third centuries, in where you say 201, 202, 203. So now let's come to the 18th century, where someone is asking you, in which century was 1785? Your answer would be 18th century. And then the other person asks you, why? Because there is no zero year, zero month, or zero century. Now let me go to the other slide and discuss even more. So the center point, the zero, when the dividing point of AD and BC, behind the zero is BC, and when you go forward, it's AD. Now let me tell you a fact. Jesus was actually born 4 years before Jesus was born. So Jesus was born in 4 BC and not in 0. So 0 is actually not the birth of Jesus. Jesus was born 4 years before 0. But still, everybody considers the birth of Jesus as 0. And now, let's come over here to AD. So from the 1st to 99, 1 to 99 is which century? Let me give you some time to answer. It is the 1st century. And then 100 to the 199th year is which century? It's the 2nd century. If you guessed it right, then you understood the concept of the centuries. Now, one thing may be confusing you. In AD, it's going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it is continuing. It's going front. But in BC, it's going back. It's written backwards. Why? Because it just not answered yet when was like the first day when everything was created. It's just infinite. So you have to count it backwards and not saying that 1st century and 2nd century the way you say in AD. You're going backwards. So the thing is, from the 1st to 99, as you know, is now the 1st century. 101 to 199 is the 2nd century. 201 to 299 is the third century, and then it all continues. I hope you understood the concept of centuries. We'll meet again. Bye.